Hi guys, how's your day? I hope it's going well. And so my name is Rizky Napatiwi and I'm a student of English Language Education Department at University of Muhammadiyah Malang. And now in this section, I would like to talk about education, especially in various ways to teaching learning English. And now, why I choose this topic is because I'm an English Language Education Department student and aspires to be a teacher. So I choose a topic that I could use when I become a teacher later. And I hope this topic can help us to teach English in various ways. And when I discuss this topic, I hope prospective teachers will know more ways to teach and learn English. So in this case, I use the literature review method to draw conclusion from several journals. The journals that I study are all related to teaching English learning. And now, let's see all the journals. The first journal that I review is Teaching English Pronunciation Using Film by Ms. Diah Fitri from Indonesian University of Education. According to Ward and Lipitri 2007, films are more intellectually motivating than videos, made for EVL teaching because they embody the notion that a film with a story that wants to be told rather than a lesson needs to be told. This study aimed to discover whether the use of film is effective to improve students' pronunciation ability and the student response toward a film in improving their pronunciation. This study applied a quantitative study in a private high school in Bandung, and the participants of this study were class 10 science and 10 social with total 64 students. The researcher tested the ability of the student at pronunciation some vocabularies in the beginning of the research or pre-test, and in the of the research or post-test, is the student will be tested based on two aspects, pronunciation and intonation. To conclude the data, the researcher used the test formula adapted from Anna Sujono book to find out the result. The result of this study showed that the use of film in teaching English pronunciation does not give a major improvement. However, the students respond positively toward film as teaching media. Furthermore, the use of film in teaching enhanced student motivation in learning English. This research suggests that the use of film could be useful for educational purpose. And the second journal that I review is Teaching Writing of Narrative Text Through Digital Comic by Mrs. Fenty Suslawati from Department of English Education, Indonesian University of Education. Nisa and Al-Hafiz 2014 say that comics can motivate the student in learning English, capture and maintain the learner's interest. This research was aimed to investigate the use of digital comic in helping senior high school students to write narrative text and to find out the students' perception on the use of digital comic in teaching writing of narrative text. This research employed a quantitative method with a true experimental design. The sample of this research was the 10th grade student at one senior high school in Garut. There were 71 students involved in this research. 36 of them belonged to experimental group and the rest belonged to control group. Therefore, writing tests and questionnaire were implemented as the research instrument in order to collect the data. Writing test of this research was implemented twice, first a pre-test and second a post-test. In addition, Sangkuriang and Timun Mas were choose a title of digital comic used in this research. The result of this research indicated that the use of digital comic as a teaching media can improve student ability in writing narrative text. And the result also revealed that the use of digital comic in teaching writing of narrative text has more advantage rather than disadvantages. From this research, teachers are recommended to use digital comic in teaching writing of narrative text. The third journal that I review is The Effectiveness of Live Classroom in Teaching Grammar of EVL Students by Mrs. Saida from Islamic Religion National Institute Kediri, Indonesia. CARA 2015 means as the concept of living the class in which material is usually studied in class done is now studied at home, and homework which is usually done at home now is done in class. The aim of this present study was to investigate the effect of using the flipped classroom strategy to students' grammar mastery. The participants are two groups, the student of EIN Kediri, which usually has two classes with total 61 students. There are two kinds of written tests that were conducted, namely pre-test and post-test. Pre-test was used to know the grammar mastery of the student before the treatment with flipped classroom given. And post-test was administered to measure student grammar mastery after the treatment with flipped classroom. And the result of this research can be used as a motivation for the teacher to select the best way in teaching and learning of English. Furthermore, it can be used by teacher to reconstruct a strategy to develop their students' competence in learning and using English, especially in teaching English grammar. Besides, they will know their students' knowledge in grammar. And the fourth journal that I review is the application of storytelling, a solution to overcome the student speaking problem by Mrs. Clara Resta. Handayani 2030 pointed out storytelling can encourage students to explore their unique expressiveness and can hasten their ability to communicate the thoughts and feelings and articulate. The main object of this research is to improve the 10th grade speaking skill through storytelling technique. The subject of the research was the student of 10th grade at Vocational High School Bakti 2, and there were 20 students. The instruments were the test, observation, interview, and diary notes. And the results indicated that there was significant improvement of student score in the pre-test and post-test too. The mean of student pre-test score was 48.20 and 63.30 for post-test 1. On the contrary, it was 77.70 in post-test 2. It was supported by interview, diary notes, and observation, showing that there was students' interest in learning through the implementation of storytelling. Therefore, it suggests for English teachers to make use of the technique to actively encourage and increase the students' positive learning attitude towards speaking English. And the fifth journal that I review is using story reading technique to improve young learners' vocabulary by Mr. Sri Dharma Sihaan. Ellis and Brewster 2002 emphasizes that stories allow the teacher to introduce or revise new vocabulary and sentence structure by exposing the children to language in varied, memorable, and familiar contexts. This study was conducted to improve young learners' English vocabulary, and the subject of the research was the student of K1 grade in Grace Kids Preschool Jakarta, and there were 10 students. The quantitative data collected using this were analyzed using SPY-IS, and the qualitative data collected using observation and interview techniques were analyzed descriptively. The results indicate that the story reading techniques improve the participant vocabulary mastery, as shown by the increase of the mean score of the test conducted. The use of stories significantly increased the student vocabulary mastery. Based on the findings, it could be concluded that the use of story reading technique was effective to improve kindergarten students' vocabulary mastery. And the last journal that I review is using short stories to teach language skill by Mr. Pardidi from Christian University of Indonesia, Jakarta. Pu, 1970, said that short story is a narrative that can be read at one sitting of from 1/2 hour to 2 hours, and that is limited to a certain unique or single event to which every detail is subordinate. The notion that the main objective of EVL teaching is to help students to communicate fluently in the target language, because many teachers still believe that an EVL class should focus on mastering linguistic elements only. However, recent trend in EVL teaching indicates the necessity of integrating literature because of its rich potential to provide an authentic model of language use. Among literary genres, short stories seem to be the most suitable choice for this due to its potential to help students enhance the four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing more effectively because of the motivational benefit embedded in the stories. The purpose of this article is to help students to communicate fluently in the target language. And the conclusion of the sixth journal is there are many interesting ways to teach English learning. We can use film to teach pronunciation, we can use digital comics to teach writing, then we can use flipped classroom in grammar learning, and we can use storytelling to overcome speaking problems, and we can use short story and story reading to improve vocabulary and language skill. And there are many more interesting ways to teaching learning English. And from the sixth journal that I review, all journals have different advantage, and it's very interesting to study. And based on the result of this research, for future English teachers candidates are suggested to use the various interesting ways to teach learning English that I explained before, because there are many potential in English skills. By doing the various techniques, students will not feel bored in English teaching learning process. And thank you for your attention and goodbye.